Hello, welcome to another episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and we are in our last episode of the spooky season.
Man, I'm really spooked, bro.
Hope you're ready for the pod cast.
I was gonna say cast because we've been finishing each other's sentences with the Snatchers word.
Yeah.
The S word was never said in the movie. I just said, looks like their bodies have been
Snatched.
there, and someone else finished it every time. So,
In case you haven't guessed already, we did this episode on the invasion of the body snatchers.
Wait, no, he's lying. It was Halloween Town 2.
No.
so I asked him when we was
Not
watching it,
yet,
and
at
as
least.
always, he said, "You'll find out." And I was like, "Is it Gremlins?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "I got it. Halloween Town 2."
Yeah.
And nobody answered
How
anything.
did
I was
you
like,
know?
nobody said anything.
Monsters
So
Incorporated.
I was like, "Yep, I knew it. I was right
Got
from
it.
the beginning."
Yeah. Specifically, the 1975 rendition of.
You know, we
Yeah.
should watch
Body
Monsters
Snatchers.
Incorporated.
Maybe.
I mean,
I
at
think
one
that'd be-
point, sure.
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
it's a good ass movie. Monsters.
I didn't know that there was a newer version of this movie.
There's like
A
an
newer
older
as
version
in-
too. Yeah.
As in quote unquote the 70s.
Right.
No, there's a newer. There's a 90s version too. I looked up the movie, found 91 version.
Where?
Mhm.
What?
I looked up Body Snatchers movie. There's like a 93 version, 91, something like that.
Wow.
There's a newer movie, yeah. And I was like, that ain't it.
There's
It's
a newer,
an,
older one.
It's a similar situation to Carpenter's The Thing.
Or it just keeps being remade.
Right.
I don't know which
original
one-
being The Thing from Another World,
Mm-hmm.
based on the novel Who Goes There.
Huh.
But yeah, they made The Thing from Another World, John Carpenter's The Thing, and then I want to say it was the 2016 thing.
I liked Carpenters. I haven't seen.
Oh,
the other
this
ones.
one's just called Body Snatchers. I see.
Mm,
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Anyways, we watched the
75, 76.
Mhm.
whatever.
yeah.
The best one.
It was good. It was good. I thought the storytelling was interesting because it almost felt like the movie just felt quiet.
Yeah.
There was no
Yeah.
narration. There was no like direct storytelling. It was kind of like you're just in a way it's almost akin to like The Breakfast Club, where like things
Yeah.
are just happening and you're just observing, and the
Mhm.
story
Lots
tells
of
itself.
dialogue.
And yeah, it's like nothing. At no point does a character explain something in a way that even if it's not abnormal, another movie would. It just feels like you're watching all natural shit happen. You're just trying to figure out like you're just
Yeah.
putting pieces together.
Yeah, you are kind of stumbling through this problem
Mhm.
with everyone else.
You just feel like an observer. It's kind of how I felt with Breakfast Club too, where it's like you're just kind of observing all these kids doing something. That's how it feels in this movie, where it's like the first good hour of this movie, you're just observing things happening, and you know it's going to go downhill, but you just don't know when.
Oh, yeah.
And the movie does a great job of being a little bit like slow in pace, but not in a bad way, and being just narrative, and it doesn't tell you anything. It barely even shows you anything. I didn't even notice that the rain was really goopy until you guys kept commenting on it because you guys had seen that before.
Oh no, I
And then-
haven't. But like I just watched it enough,
Mhm.
and you can see enough.
Yeah, and then eventually
Sludge
Goop
fall
like
down.
fell off, and you realize like, okay, this is the beginning
Yeah.
of the movie, and it
Yeah.
starts off by giving you ammunition, like something's gonna be weird because of this rain, and then it pretty much the whole movie refuses to elaborate.
You just
Yeah.
kind
And
of
I kind of really like that. You're supposed to try and figure it out. You get some questions answered, but I kind of really liked the way it was story
Mhm.
told. Even though I'm not usually like a big fan of those kind of movies,
Right.
I think it was executed really well in that.
One of my favorite bits is early on, they give you a lot of auditory hints as to
Yeah.
what's happening, because early on you can hear some of the screeches
Mm-hmm.
from the Snatchers as they
I noticed
like
there was a
spot
lot of-
more and more people. That
There was a
aren't-
lot of like Code 3, like lights
Oh,
and
yeah.
sirens in the movie
Mhm.
too. I noticed that was happening all the time. Like in every scene, you could hear lights and sirens, or you could hear
Yeah.
sirens, which I thought was an interesting kind of thing.
I think it also takes place in New York too.
Well, yeah,
like, the
but
fact
it's-
that it's
it's
all
Seattle.
It still,
Seattle.
It still felt like it was.
Oh, wait, no,
deliberate.
San Francisco.
I'm so dumb.
It was in one of them big old
It
cities.
was a big old city.
I'm not
It
from
all
any of them.
same.
I don't know. I'm from the middle of freaking nowhere. They're all the same to me.
Do you remember the name of that building?
All I remember was
that
El
one.
Bapinos or whatever the freaking.
Yeah, no, it was
time.
just it was just Beppino's.
That was it. Yeah, I remember there was an Italian restaurant that had an amazing name that I want to eat at.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna be good when it's just the Italian flag with the name splattered
With
across
it, exactly.
it.
Yeah. If it's just Italian flag with a name like Beppino's, you know it's
Yeah.
probably fire as hell.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Instant
they didn't even
5 stars.
pay for that product placement; they just
Nah.
got it. Like,
Mhm.
but yeah, man,
Giovanni's.
yeah, right, man. Like it was. I thought it was really. In fact, I really liked the movie didn't. A lot of what you tell is happening isn't vocalized, or even you're not even given the creepy music that you get in movies a lot of times.
Right.
It's just like people are conversing and one guy like looks off in the distance and you could tell that he's like emotionless and you just kind of pick up like something's off about that guy.
Oh, there's one.
So without even making it obvious at all, in fact, making it kind of unobvious, you can tell that someone's like been snatched.
Yeah,
and then,
for lack of a better word.
Right. And then on top of that, there are scenes where they take that exact same concept and then in that scene, they make you think this person's snatched when they're not yet.
Yeah.
And the end of the movie we'll get to later, but they did the same thing again. It's like they get you to the point where you're like, you can like believe something that's not auditory, and then they just throw it on you, like they like turn it around on you. You know, I think it's really cool how it's done.
Shit. This movie scared the fuck out of me.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was good. It didn't give me like the Thing vibe, even though like in a way, but in this, every person was obvious when they swapped.
Oh yeah.
Like they were obviously different, so it didn't give me those kind of vibes, but like it was still like creepy and spooky. It was kind of
I thought the core group of actors were really good in this too.
Oh, yeah.
I was told this
Top
is one
notch.
of Jeff Goldblum's first works.
I don't know about first, but I know it's one of his earliest.
Because if this was one of his early like first works, it does not shock me that he was in a lot of other horror movies because he executed this role so well.
Right.
His character, the way he like
Right,
didn't
right.
shut up and kept talking about things, and like the way he acted all the way up until he got serious was just impressive. Like it was just a well done role.
Oh yeah.
I think he did good in The Fly too, but for totally different reasons. The way he was able to convey his creepiness in his character, but like, dude, in this one, he conveyed a totally different role, like perfectly.
Right.
Definitely an A-list actor.
Yeah, that was just insane. So, who is everybody's favorite character? I don't even know my favorite character.
Before we continue, though, I will say he was in
Mhm.
a handful of stuff before this, but this may be his biggest.
his first big one.
Yeah, because it looks like this one came out in '78, and he was in films back
that
in
was it.
'74. So he was in a whole bunch of. He was in Columbo, which is like a TV series.
Oh, wow.
He was in. Like I said, he was in stuff between '74 and '78, but I think the biggest
Yeah, there was
big
smaller
hitting
stuff.
movie was Invasion of the Body
Mhm.
Snatchers. My favorite character, I will say that Jeff Goldblum's character was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also didn't mind Donald Sutherland's character Matthew. I thought it was kind of weird at first, kind of the relationship between him and
Old girl. I forgot.
Brooke. Her real name's Brooke Adams. So between those two actors, it was like at first it kind of felt a little strange, but I could tell that it was like work friends that kind of flirt around a little bit, I think. And I liked his character though. But I also, like I said, because I don't like to, I think I would consider him the main character, and because I don't want to usually pick the main character, I would say Jeff Goldblum's character was very funny.
Yeah.
I love the fact
I think that the
that
fact that there wasn't really a main character makes him a viable option. Like, especially with the way it ended and everything, there wasn't
Right.
really a main. The cast just changed. Like at one point, I thought that like the two main characters were like dead, and I was like, how did it just swap from the main character
Yeah.
to like two? They weren't, but I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
yeah,
like-
right.
I'd have to
Um,
go with Girl Lambert.
Who's Lambert?
And that's not the name in the film, but that's a character that they played in Alien.
Oh, the Blondie,
That's all I know
Oh,
of
yeah,
her.
her real
I
name-
can't remember her name.
Her real name is Veronica Cartwright.
Yes.
but Blondie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I was gonna say it's either her or Jeff Goldblum, her husband in the movie.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Gold Jeff Bloom.
Gold Jeff Bloom.
The thing with her character is like, I mean, it's weird that in the end of the movie, spoiler, she ends up being the only one left alive.
Yeah.
But like, which is kind of weird because I wouldn't normally pick that kind of like, again, sort of main character-y kind of
Yeah.
person. But the fact that she's the only one left alive is like interesting, and her whole character was just a super conspiracy theorist, but was like really like
Yeah.
a really fun and I think well played character. I just liked
I would
her
describe
character.
her as panicky yet
Yeah.
punky.
She played the exact same panicked character as she did in Alien.
She does
and-
it so well.
Hey.
But she does it so well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, I think that it was a really good. I liked her character a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I at one point like people are like asleep, and you think that both of them are dead because like they're creating the two like main characters at the time, right?
Mhm.
Like they think they're like creating the bodies, and you're like, how did they both die? I thought they were the main characters, and like they ended up not. But like for a brief moment, you were just like, wait, is there no such thing as a main character in this movie? Is nothing sacred? And the end of the movie, no, nothing's sacred. The guy who's been following this whole time, the only one who's left that you've been following this whole time, nope.
Mm-hmm.
Consider him snatched.
Can I give you a little fun fact?
Sure.
Give me several.
The one fun fact I'll give you right now is that whenever you got snatched, what we were calling colloquially known in the film as being snatched, and your new self was born, they're called pod people.
Yeah.
I call them
Yeah.
snatchlings.
Snatchlings, yeah.
You've been snatched.
You've been snatched by a
Smooth, snatchable.
smooth-skinned, scary man.
Oh, another fun fact for you.
Adult-sized fetus. What?
That final scene,
Wild. Yeah.
it was also a blind take.
So nobody knew in the movie who was actually the end. That's cool.
I think that
None of the actors, I mean, knew. Sorry.
I want to say the only actor that didn't know that was going to happen was what was her name?
The
Blondie?
Veronica.
Yeah, Blondie. Veronica. She didn't know that was going to happen.
Again, well, her character name is Nancy. Her real life name is Veronica.
Right.
Her name said maybe once in the entire movie, so I called her Blondie.
Right.
She had sick braids. I liked her hair. It was cool. But yeah, how would you guys describe it in 3 words?
Oh, God.
Man.
I already have my 3.
Slippery plant monster.
Mm.
Big screech globe.
I would call
Big
it the Goop rain apocalypse.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
perfect.
I know.
Goop rain
The
apocalypse.
Goop rain apocalypse.
Holy shit.
Hey, can that be the episode?
I mean, it might as well be, yeah.
Okay. Goop rain apocalypse. That's exactly what it was. That's basically
Very
the
nice.
entirety of them.
Accurate, even.
But oh man, there's really not like with the pacing of the movie. It's just there's nothing really else left to
I think
kind
it
of
works
go
pretty
over.
well.
It does it. There's nothing else to. I found it weird that every doctor in this movie was like flirting with other chicks whenever they were looking for their husbands, and they were just going along with it. Like, I understand everyone's distressed, but also, like, every single doctor in this movie
It's
was
the
like...
70s.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, shh, let me hold you and caress your face. And I'm like,
You can
isn't she
sex
taken?
up everybody.
Promiscuity was a very vague concept.
Yeah, and so...
It's a different time.
Like, let me caress my your face and smooch your forehead. And I'm like, isn't she looking for her husband right now? What are you doing? Like, oh, man.
Oh, dude. I love I love watching some of these movies and really realizing how far we've come, like, technologically in, what is this, late 70s, 80s, 90s.
Rotary phones and shit.
Yeah, like 40 to 50 years, dude. It's crazy to think that we're, like, approaching 50 years since, like, some of this stuff was filmed. And it's like, wow, like,
They still don't know the concept of an email yet.
yeah. Oh, dude.
And I'm over here hating email because it's old and out of date and not
Yeah.
helpful for my department. And they're like, "What's an email?"
Back
I'm
then, that
sad.
shit was future tech.
I'm
Right,
sad
yeah.
when I walk into a restaurant and don't have quite as much service, so I can't send a text message out
Right,
very
yeah.
fast.
Attempts to message.
Yeah, exactly. And they're over here like, get the rotary dial phone and pull
Quick,
out,
get
pull
the
out
messenger
wire.
dove.
Yes.
What's the Wi-Fi
Yeah.
password?
I don't even ask that anymore. We got cellular data, bro.
There was a point in time whenever she has a phone that's like built into the wall with like a retractable cord, and I was like, that is so cool.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and to think about it, I was like, that
Innovative.
probably is like very expensive.
You know, that would be cool now, but it's probably $20. Like,
No, but I'm saying like even back then, like
That shit
that
was
must have been like
cool.
an expensive phone
Mm-hmm.
to have it like mounted in the wall.
yeah.
That shit was factored
So.
in as a bonus.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Perk.
I could be wrong though.
Yeah, that increased the property value by like $10,000.
Right.
Like,
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a freaky movie.
It is definitely messed up.
yeah, I think it was a good Halloween movie if you're not like super into spooky shit. Kind of like The Fly, where like if you're into like unsettling, creepy stuff, but not into like
Yeah.
jump scares and really scary stuff,
Yeah.
it's like kind of like that, where it's like this is spooky, this is unsettling, but it's light. Like someone who's
Yeah.
easily scared could handle it and would not really be like
Messed up.
you'd be able to go to sleep at night probably. Like, yeah, it was kind of akin to a zombie movie. You know, that's an interesting
Hey,
thing.
definitely towards the end of the movie, it gets
it
very
has-
close to being akin to
Yeah.
a zombie movie where you're just being chased by a horde of just mindless
Yeah, right. The
creatures.
screeches. Yeah.
Exactly, the screechers.
You'll hear them in your nightmares.
I want you to keep your snatchers and your screechers separated, please,
Yeah.
at all times. You don't want them to touch.
2 separate genuses. Subspecies,
Yeah.
if you will.
If they combine together, we'll have a world of hurting on our hands.
God, if there's one thing they did right in this movie, among the rest of the right stuff.
It's the squeech.
It's the fucking screeching.
Oh, yeah.
They did do that.
Like the
pretty
sound
well.
design of these fucking body snatchers is horrific.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Dude, okay, that one scene where curly hair guy, main character boy, he finds his fake and it looks just like him. So he's like, I'm gonna kill it, and takes an axe to its head.
Right.
Was so metal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
shit,
god,
dude.
I loved that scene.
It wasn't even an axe, dude. It was literally just
It was a garden hoe.
Yeah, it was a garden.
It was a hoe. Sorry, I thought it was an axe. Yeah, because he takes even more metal. He takes a less sharpened, more blunt object and murders the freaking clone of himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's so. Imagine you're like, I'm alive, but this clone of me is trying to take my body, and you just take a blunt object and beat its head in.
Ugh.
I didn't need that in my life.
God damn.
And like,
Yeah.
I was watching the movie, and I was like, dude, even Game of Thrones didn't do some of this like face getting crushed and stuff. Like, this is horrific. I love it.
He popped his head like a balloon.
Bro, and you can tell it's fake, but still, you're like looking at like a kind of defined face and just
like,
watching
oh,
a freaking
damn.
garden hoe plow through it. Plow. Wait. 1 second.
I mean, harvest your brains.
What was that? I don't know if you can
Was
hear
that
that, but I
knee
slapped
slap?
my knee. That was me slapping my knee. Yeah, but watching a garden hoe just plow freaking through it, and then he does it like 3 times in the scene. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
keep zooming in, like, oh, you thought it was dead? It's more dead.
Dude, so
Gotta
I
make
didn't
sure.
I didn't understand how it functioned because the movie didn't tell you what
Yeah.
was going on, and you had to kind of infer what was happening by like context clues.
Right.
Like, so there's a point wherever like you're not supposed to go to sleep
Mm-hmm.
because then it allows your doppelganger, or I'm sorry, your pod person. We'll say that.
You're snatched.
You're a snatchy. It allows them to wake up, and then but if they become fully awakened, then you like shrivel up and die or turn into like
shortly
You
after.
are effectively gone.
I didn't realize that. So as he was asleep and he's like slowly dematerializing, I just thought he was like, like having the energy sucked out of him, but he was still going to be alive.
Oh, no.
Or like still going to be there. So like if someone like was to wake him up, his snatched version would like just like fall down and drop out
Yeah.
or whatever. But then realized that like that wasn't the case.
Mm-hmm.
So like that in that moment he got very close to like
Straight up dying. Yeah.
straight up becoming no more.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Can we talk about towards the ending of the movie though? Now
Uh-huh.
it's as I am, and I've talked about this on the podcast with you, Dylan, specifically a handful of times, so I won't rehash it again. There are numerous episodes where I talk about this sensation that I keep trying to overcome, but this was one of those movies that I wanted more. And not like I'm not asking for a lot. It was just, I can tell, my theory is at the end of the movie, you can see our guy, Matthew, like our main character, who's played by Donald Sutherland. You can see him kind of going about his daily life, and I think that he is normal. And so like he like is in his office building, he's like cutting out some papers and stuff, and he feels very normal.
The movie
And
makes it out that he's normal, but that he's faking it.
Yeah, exactly. And so no, I think that he is normal and faking being a snatched person.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's faking this.
Yeah.
And I think that is true up until the last sequence whenever he's going to like City Hall. I think at some point the discrepancy between him going inside the elevator at his work and City Hall, I think that's the transition where he got snatched at some point. Because like he gets very concerned looking at that beaker that's like mixing stuff or whatever, and like there's like these little things that I feel like didn't get flushed out that like again it doesn't really need to be expanded upon, but I would have loved to have learned a little bit more about what was going on, like at like the midway point, like peak of Act 2 when things are like going sideways. Brooke Adams plays a character named Elizabeth, and which is kind of like the other main role, the main girl interest. She goes to the lab and gets someone like to test these pods of some kind, and they're like,
They never really give the result. Yeah.
they never really get the results of anything, but it's also like, I don't know if they're making some sort of antidote for it or something. So it seems like they're like doing something, but don't really flush it out, but that's okay because it's kind of vague on purpose, it feels like. But like they make a point to bring it back up, like what feels like at the end of the movie, and like they're all sitting there in the lab, and she turns off the mixing beaker or whatever, and it's like he has this look of like, oh man, like it seems important of some kind or whatever.
But they don't really talk
and it
about
feels like it's setting up for something, but then it doesn't. And then of course, like at the end of the movie, it comes out that he's snatched. I'm calling it snatched. You know,
I think it was just one of those holding shots where there's no like visible concern on his face. He's just kind of staring at it.
I also think that they wanted to show you that beaker to make you think, kind of, but also like they didn't want to say what it was yet.
I guess you're right.
It was also Elizabeth that was mixing the beaker too. So he might have, they may have been trying to get across the fact that he was just kind of staring at her,
right,
to see if there was any hint of her left over.
I think that's kind of the catch, is they wanted you to believe that
he was still like trying to blend in and see.
Yeah, they wanted you to believe that he wasn't snatched, so they made that scene there. That's what I kind of think. But also, like, I mean, and I'm gonna say that like the movie, the ending, it's really interesting. The guy who criticizes endings here, I'm gonna say
we're gonna reverse roles here.
I'm gonna say that it's really weird for me. It falls in a weird middle ground for me.
There's a gray area. Are we finding the gray area on Ethan's
of my black and
conclusion?
White? My black and white. It should not be a stupid ass happy ending again.
Right.
It's interesting because it did not feel lacking, but again, like Ian's saying, it felt like they should have like provided. It felt like as soon as he screeched, I knew they're gonna zoom in on his face and it's gonna cut to the ending, and I hated that. My first instinct was like, they're gonna end it here, really? Like nothing else. But on the other hand, as the guy who thinks that happy endings are overplayed and stupid as shit, I'm going to say that this was a great ending in that regard. It's like you thought he made it through all of this and you've been wondering where Blondie went. Like you've been wondering if she made it out, because she was able to like keep her cool really well whenever things went south and was just blend in. So like you think that she might have made it out alive. It's one of those kind of Game of Thrones things where if they don't die on camera, they don't die at all.
Right.
And so she just kept disappearing and never died. And so it's like she sees him and shows emotion. And then it comes out, he points and screeches at her, and she freaks out because it comes out, obviously, he's been snatched. So I think the ending's really cool, but also it's like, it's one of those things where, like, does the world end? Is there any more closure? Do we know what and it's I think that's good, but again, it's the gray area where it's like, I am not satisfied, but I cannot call it a bad ending. That's a really interesting, good ending that leaves you wondering and leaves open for you to draw your own conclusion about what you already know. And, like, it's not overly one person survived, and we can assume that she died because he screeched at her. And I mean, it's too late for. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's an apocalypse movie, and we can assume that the apocalypse was successful with the aliens. Right. That's kind of how the ending leads you to believe, but you could glean your own from it. I just thought it was really.
I just know that I'm going to get stuck inside a. I'm gonna get stuck in some kind of YouTube hole.
Oh yeah,
later,
just like looking up conspiracy theories for the ending.
There actually is a theory where Matthew does survive and is able to blend in, and as soon as Veronica, what was her name in the movie?
Her name was Nancy in the movie.
As soon as Nancy walks up to him, he's like, "Oh shit," and he screeches at her.
That's kind of what I thought at first.
To try and save himself. So
I thought he screeched at her.
To, like, survive.
So I thought originally,
so he sacrificed her,
right?
Well, no, but
supposedly. I mean, that's a theory that someone came up with.
See, my theory when I first saw it was I didn't know the movie was going to end there until after it started zooming. I was like, it's going to zoom on his face and end. But I thought that what was happening is she was showing emotion, saying, "Hey, like, oh my God, you're alive," and he was screeching at her because he was trying to see if that was a real or fake person. Right. So he was going to screech at it, and if it showed emotion, I thought he was going to stop his screech and be like, "Oh my God, you're real and you're alive." but if he screeched and she just walked away, then he was going to be like, clutch, right, and then move on. So that's what I thought. But the movie, he keeps screeching, and the movie ends. Left up to interpretation.
And then of course he keeps like flipping back and forth between him pointing and screeching, and her like shaking her like
her 70s movie freaking out.
Yeah, exactly. While the camera may as well be like zooming in and out like
it's doing
it's not actually,
the hyper
but,
zoom.
At that point, there's no choice but to freak out. I mean, you're fucked.
Oh yeah, dude.
Right. Congratulations, you've been,
you are the last person on
I would
Earth.
just lie down and just somehow die of my own accord.
Yeah.
Damn.
You got the dead. So
you survived this long, you can make it.
You're cool for making it this long. Hopefully you got enough boinking done because
she was cool.
She was a good character. I liked her character a lot.
I liked seeing Leonard Nimoy again. I haven't seen him in a whole lot of stuff. Like I'm being honest. Like I haven't seen him in a whole lot of stuff because I never really watched
Who is
Star
Leonard
Trek.
Nimoy?
He was the doctor. Dr. David Kibler, the guy with the hand thing.
Mm-hmm.
The little,
Oh yeah, I didn't know that was.
Weird
I don't
ass
know who
glove.
Spock is, bro.
that's okay. In like the
I
original,
never watched Star Trek.
in like the original show, he played Spock, and so
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
that's obviously what he's probably most known
Yeah.
for.
Oh yeah.
And Nerd Lemoy.
But I again was always a big Star Wars fan, and it's not to say you have to be one or the other, but again, I just was raised off of one and just
Right.
never really was interested in the other.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
I have watched some of it now, but again, you know,
It was probably cooler to watch it back then.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not really my cup
One
of
of those
tea.
things. Try playing
for
Elder
some
Scrolls 3 Morrowind now. All right. And we're not saying it's a bad
man.
game. We're just saying that right now, it's not as playable as it used to be.
Right.
Right. But anyways, so I haven't seen him in a whole lot
Mm-hmm.
because obviously I haven't seen a lot of movies either.
He made his
But-
mark and left,
Right. But then, so again, you know, seeing him in this movie kind of in like a younger age, and you know,
Yeah.
was really
Young-
cool. I
Young Leonard.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leonard Youngman.
Leonard Youngmoy. Man, I think that's really all I've got. I didn't make any other notes. It was a solid movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It was an hour and 55 minutes.
It
and I
really
think-
did. I'll admit, it felt longer than that. Like
Well, I
knew
think we
the
also
whole-
took a break.
No, I just mean like the movie itself. Like up until we took a break,
Yeah.
it felt like it had already been 2 hours when we took that break to me.
Really?
But the thing is, I knew like deep down that the movie's pacing was what made me feel like it was a long movie.
Right.
When in actuality, I was like, I can guarantee it's probably like a short movie.
Yeah.
And as far as what we've been watching lately, that's pretty short. Like we've been watching a lot of 2+s lately, and this was right at 2
Yeah.
hours. So
Yeah.
that's why I didn't say anything, because I was like, it feels long, but I know that the movie is telling the story in a way that I have to like really pay attention, so it just feels longer.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? So
We are in the last episode of our spooky
it's
season.
booby month.
See,
Boo. Got him.
that's the thing
Ah.
I was worried about is I'm focusing on somewhat like fringe horror titles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, still well known enough, but not like
Mhm.
tried and true classics like Halloween or
right.
fucking
Which,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
to
And
be
The
honest,
thing is, I really did like all these, but you're right. There is something that people probably want us to watch, the movies that like,
oh, of course.
like
Yeah.
the Freddy's in, and like the movies that are like the murder movies. They're like
Oh,
classic
yeah.
that I've also never
Jason. and
never
all
seen.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't
never
seen
seen-
any of those.
Friday the 13th. Whatever. It's like
Yeah.
I guarantee that people want to watch, and also I've never seen them, so I probably should. We have to go into November a little bit with that one. Just pick one, one randomly.
At the very least.
We might have to just not like it's not spooky month anymore, but just randomly pick one, because like
I want to know one other Thanksgiving movie.
Oh,
We're not gonna. We watched it last year and we did a podcast on it. So again, I don't want
right.
mhm.
to. I don't want to.
They're few and far between. Like
Yeah, I'm
besides the one we
joking
watched already,
mostly, but
Oh.
again, I think it'd be funny is like the fact that like we watched The Scent of a Woman,
Yeah.
which is again.
I'm gonna
a
watch that again
Thanksgiving
around
movie.
Thanksgiving time.
I'm telling you,
Scent
same.
of a Woman's happening.
We have to.
Mhm.
We have to.
Yeah,
It's a
there's going to be
tradition now.
whiskey or eggnog, but not both because I'll probably get sick.
Yeah.
And
or Iski.
yeah,
Iski.
Iski Wog. So
Wog.
You're gonna get the orcs riled up.
I know. Hey, slow down.
So I'd have to watch that again. All I'll say is Die Harder.
Yes.
I don't care if that one's not a Christmas movie. We've already seen Die Hard, and it is a Christmas movie, so fight me about it.
I'm gonna have to pick that one up.
Die Harder, though, I just want to watch it because it's got the word harder.
Harder, yeah. It's like the first one, but more.
It's like,
Yes.
exactly. You're like dying, but harder, you know?
That's exactly what you need.
If I'm going to die, I
Right.
don't want to just die hard, you know? I want to die harder.
One up your own death.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what?
Exactly.
You're doing a good job of dying, but
I want
do
to die
better.
more than most other people do.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
impressive that way.
The Reaper's giving you a rebound.
Yeah. I want to start a new band called Reaper's Rebound.
That sounds like a bad sex position.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, babe, want to try the Reaper's Rebound? What's that? Yeah, you don't want to know.
Something you might
Yeah.
die from.
Exactly. That's the key. Is you probably don't
Right.
want to know.
Oh, man. Well,
Jesus.
I want to start a band called Goop Rain Apocalypse.
yeah,
Yes.
Goop Rain Apocalypse.
Oh, man.
Yikes.
What genre is that going to be?
Oh, it's going to definitely be like electrocore.
Psychedelic.
Electrocore metal.
No, it's got to be Screamo.
I mean, it'll be like metal, but it'll be
I'm
like
sorry, Screecho.
yeah, it'll be like
Screecho.
electrocore metal with like hard, unclean vocals. It'd be awesome.
I just watched a Twitch streamer make like fake genres, and one of them was medieval moombaton.
Yo, what?
That sounds
Which
like a
is-
real one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it could be. So yeah,
Oh man, I love that Moombaton music.
it's crazy stuff.
Especially of the medieval variety.
Right.
Not a big fan of the Renaissance Moombaton.
It's not my
as good.
favorite. It sounds good.
I don't think
I'm
it has the
more,
same
more a
beat.
fan of the Rococo Moombaton, if you ask me.
Oh man.
Neanderthal Moombaton was the best.
So what is our next movie on the dock?
Oh man,
That's a great
We
question.
already have one in the chamber with
Yeah, fire.
um,
Lamb.
with the one and only Chase.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
got one early on with him.
Good old
I
PP.
have no idea.
Yeah, what are we gonna do next, guys? We had a whole plan for like spooky season, kind of,
Yeah, I mean we did, but I don't
and we
have
have a
planned.
little plan for the Christmas season.
We could do Die Harder if that's not super Christmassy. We could find that and do it. I think there was other ones in his. I have to look at his room. There was other movies on his shelf.
Yeah,
that-
we'll
that
definitely
I-
get one lined up.
Yeah, because there was other ones I picked that weren't just like we saved a couple of them for later. But there was other ones that I picked that were in. I think I was recommended a few too. I'll just look at my notes. I think
There is one that Mallory wanted to do, and it was Titanic. But
Never-
you said you
never-
also wanted
oh,
Titanic
never
too,
seen it.
Ethan.
Titanic's been on my list for a long time because I've never seen it. And it's
Yeah.
like a
Could
huge
try to make
movie.
that one a double guest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also, it's just that I've never
Quadcast.
That's a
Right.
whoa. We're making new
Whoa.
words here. Quadcast. So there's let's see. I have we have to find Velocipaster still.
Oh God, please no.
That's on my list here.
You want to know what I also was thinking about? We walked through, I think it was Target the other day, or it was Walmart. I can't remember. And we found the 8 film collection of Tremors.
Oh
The-
my god,
There's 8 of them.
Or 7. We went over this before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I know, but I just thought there was like 3 or 4. I remember us doing. We
Yeah.
need to watch Tremors 2: The Trimmering. That was
Yeah.
That's probably an off podcast one we need to bring up a little
Dude,
bit. But
Yeah.
Another one that I'm worried that I may not be able to find is The Amazing Bulk.
no, just put Amazon it, bro. Just
you
look it
know
up.
what? We know what we didn't get to that we need to?
What?
You said it's on Hulu or Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chud.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
You did talk about. I've heard the name. I did. We need to watch that one.
It's on fucking Amazon
Yeah,
Prime.
he found it on Amazon Prime, and he was like, he thought that he would never be able to.
Dude.
Don't give me that look of disappointment, Ethan. I don't want to see
Cannot wait to watch this movie. The thing is,
Chud.
I think the next podcast I'm on won't have a specific movie. I think it'll be about us watching the second Tremors and roasting it, and then us talking about Chud. It'll be
I
the
mean,
Chud-
maybe.
we'll call it the Chudcast. Yeah.
Chudcast.
Stay tuned for the Chudcast, everyone.
Get hype.
I can't wait to watch Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers.
Dwellers. Yeah, you had it.
I didn't know. I was thinking of like dinosaurs or something, and I was like, "How much more wild can we get this?" Oh man.
Oh man.
So yeah, Chud. Jesus Christ. I think Chud it beats Velocipaster
Dude,
on
Chud
ridiculous
is
names.
so
There's a
fucking
Chud too.
How?
I was
How do
just
people
thinking
afford
about that.
this? How do they
Oh,
afford
What is
Man.
it called?
Dude,
is it
the
just
original-
Chud 2?
It's just called Chud.
To
Well, if we're being
But
honest,
the-
if we're being honest,
but the Chud.
it actually is it has Roman numerals
Oh my
for the
God.
2. So I will say Chud the second, and it's the
Bud the Chud.
Bud the Chud.
Oh my.
It's only an hour and a half long.
Oh my god.
Dude, wait. Let's see who's in it. Let's see. We got Colonel Master.
What?
Brian
Wow.
Robbins. All right. I was just seeing if I know. I recognize that.
We're not
guy.
gonna know any of these.
I think I recognize one of those names. He looks familiar.
Wait, for real?
That guy.
I don't
think
know
he-
any of
his
people.
his name is his face is familiar. I'm not gonna say it because I don't know.
Oh,
If he's,
okay.
it got a 4.1 out of 10 on IMDb. That's pretty solid, man. 4.1. That could be way worse.
Yeah.
What's that, out
The
of
original
5
Chud got
or
a
10?
5.6 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Out of 10. Got a 4 out of 10.
They got a 4. Yeah, and the original got a 5.6. That's like almost good.
Jeez.
Ethan always jokes around and is like, I agree, got about a 4.
Yeah,
Out of what? And it's
Yeah.
like, well, I don't.
If I say 4 and I don't elaborate,
Of
then you
course.
can't say if it was 4 out of 10, which is below average and not
Yeah.
good, or 4 out of 5, which is above average and
right.
very good. So if
Yeah.
someone asks me for my opinion and I don't want to give them my honest opinion,
Yeah.
I just say 4, and they're like, out of 5 or 10, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's 4.
Dude,
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it yet, but Chud is already a 5 out of 5.
I'll
for
be
me.
honest, man. On Rotten Tomatoes, who cares? But on IMDb, 5.6 out of 10. That's
Okay.
almost good.
I want to
Google?
just.
72% liked it. That's 3/4.
I mean, hey,
I'm not good at math, but that's a lot.
I'm not good at math, but
No, I'm not a doctor, but that's a good number.
Were you guys able to watch the trailer whenever I sent it? in?
I did.
Didn't deliberately because I don't watch trailers. I want to go in freaking
Oh
dry.
shit, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
I want to raw dog this movie the way God intended.
I don't think that's how that's supposed to be said.
Oh my god.
Listen, I realized the error of my ways after I said the sentence. Okay.
In fact, cut that out.
In fact, no, don't. It's too good. It's just don't cut it out. It's my mistakes are made. We just move on. That's how I live my life. Oh man,
Oh,
dude,
wow.
Chud 2, Bud the Chud. Oh my
Bud the
god.
Chud. What the? Is it like a capitalized Bud? Like as in that's gonna be a character?
Oh yeah, yes.
Is Bud a Chud?
Well,
There
here's the
is
thing,
a
it
character-
comes after a colon, so the B might be capitalized anyway for the title, and therefore I don't know if that's a character or if that's the way it's supposed to
But
be.
I'm
written.
sorry,
Oh
the
my
second
God.
person on the cast list, his
name
character
was
name
Bud.
is Bud Oliver. So
In that case, Bud the Chud.
that's
In
gotta
that
be
case,
it.
that.
yeah.
Oh my God, Bud turns into a Chud.
Yeah, Bud is the Chud. I think
Damn.
we're saying that word too much.
Chud.
Yeah, I feel like Chud's a derogatory term.
Yeah, man.
Well, let's
Hey,
go ahead and look
Dylan,
up
what a
IMDb.
chud.
Oh, no, let's
We
look
know
up
what it stands for. I mean, I'm not a cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
I feel like it's still.
Hey,
Anybody
let's look up
could
Urban
be.
Dictionary what Chud means.
Oh my God.
Like
Oh,
all
wow.
one word or with the periods.
You're
in
like, oh
between
wow,
each letter?
I will not be reading that aloud.
No, it actually is just. It means cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
Hell
and it originates from
yeah!
the 1984 movie Chud.
Dude,
Damn
that's
straight.
I'm gonna start saying that as a verb though.
But-
Dude, that's Chud as hell.
But
Is that a swear
now
word?
it says, but now used to describe ugly, stupid people.
I mean, that's yeah.
Bruh, he's such a Chud. I'm gonna start using that.
What a fucking Chud.
What a Chud. Oh my God, wait, guys. There's Chad and there's Chud. Oh my God, it makes sense.
Oh shit.
What a Chad,
Oh,
what a
God.
Chud.
It is now a binary system.
It's binary. Guys, use Chud. Get
Yeah,
chudded on.
only-
All right, so
We
only
gotta
a certain-
push Chud for SummerSlam.
dude, yeah, big
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. Big Chud energy guy.
Can I read the little plot synopsis for a
I
second?
think we've already read it, but also I don't want to hear it. I
Please,
want to be
please
surprised.
do.
Um,
Fuck. Never mind.
I just kind of don't even want to know what's going on. I
It's
just
okay.
want to.
We'll make it a surprise.
I want to just watch this movie and just it to be an absolute mental flashbang the entire time.
Just know that
3 consecutive left hooks to the jaw.
I haven't even gotten down the second sentence, and I'm going to be typing in doesthedogdie.com.
Oh, no,
Oh,
don't,
no.
If I see a dog, I enter that online anyway. So, for instance, in this movie, by the way, I forgot to mention, because I saw a dog and entered it immediately,
Oh,
Yes.
doesthedogdie.com. That's confusing.
That's confusing.
Because what happens is the dog gets a human face. He doesn't
Yeah.
really die, but
let's
then
look
again.
that up. Actually, I'm kind of curious as to what they'll say.
So yeah, actually look up doesthedogdie.com on
Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
yeah.
1978.
So here's the thing: he doesn't die, but the problem is we know that whenever people get body snatched,
I can't believe we didn't mention the fucking banjo dog man.
Yeah, Banjo.
Yeah, Banjo
by the way,
Dogman.
Okay, if it weren't for Blondie, Banjo Dogman, my favorite character, sad that he died. His death absolutely ruins the movie 0 out of 10. Beside the point, Banjo Dogman is his full name. But also,
the name's Dogman. Banjo,
Dogman. But also, like, he's sleeping with his dog, and he gets snatched. But then the snatch orb is kicked, and it takes part of the dog and part of him. So we can assume that the dog dies. Because if you get snatched, then eventually your body just melts
Yeah.
into the ash.
You
So
is
the dog
gone.
melted. But now that means the dog's pure consciousness is now stored in the part human, part dog breed, which means that in a way, the dog didn't die at all. This is an ethical and moral question at the same time, and therefore,
came out-
doesthedogdie.com?
It came out in
Maybe.
In 70 what?
78.
All I'm saying is we can't say if the dog died.com or not. All right.
Not
All I'm
yet,
saying is
at
the
least.
dog got a human face, which is a hell of a lot less
check our
cute.
sources.
So if you're worried about the cuteness of a 100% dog, then yes,
Yeah,
the dog
it's,
died.com.
It's gonna mess with you.
Please tell me they give you like fake ass results. Like
Uh,
they're just like we're confused.
It is a little confused.
They don't even know how to say it. They're just like
because it's talking about the 1956 movie.
oh.
Oh, really?
Is there a dead animal? No.
Mhm.
Does the dog die? 1 yes, 6 no.
Mhm.
So I don't know what it means. Like
One guy was like, yeah,
Did
it
they
died.
put
Yeah.
it to a vote or like what?
That's what they. So basically, the way the website works, Look on notes what's better. Is that the end result is based on people who basically vote on the answer. There's either a yes or a no.
Wait, so somebody could have watched Jaws and saw the dog like getting mauled to pieces and be like, "No, he's fine."
You can, but obviously everyone who goes on the website is the kind of person that wants to be honest about it. And usually it's usually like a couple of random no's and like 374 yeses. So like on Jaws, it's like ridiculous. I'll look up Jaws' stats because I remember looking it up during the movie.
Yeah.
But I'll look up Jaws stats again because it was something ridiculous where it's like, does the dog die.com 2 no.
Hear me out. John Wick. There is 53 no's.
What?
Even though
I'm pretty sure the whole base
that's
of the
the
movie.
premise of the
You
movie.
see the dead puppy.
But again, there's also 533 yeses.
Yeah, see,
so.
that's okay.
There
Where
you go.
the people who say no are probably like, it didn't die in a way that was on scene or disrespectful, but the dog died.
The number one most upvoted yes for John Wick is yes, and it's terrible. But John Wick spends the rest of the movie deliberately, gloriously, and violently avenging the dog. So it feels really pro-dog overall.
I like that. All I'm going to say is I haven't seen John Wick. The only thing I know about it is that apparently the dog dies and he kills it. So is that actually what happens? Is his dog dies and then he's like, I'm going to kill him for killing my dog? Or is there a subplot that actually happens here?
That's basically what happens.
I mean...
A bunch of punks break into his house, steal his car, and kill his dog.
And he's like...
And he goes on a
Beat him
rampage.
to a pulp.
And he's like, I'm not going to let that happen again. And then he
Right.
gets trained and then just...
Yeah, they clearly didn't know who they were fucking with.
Yeah, and he freaking snaps.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then snaps them.
Yeah. So, and this one, actually, there's right here. Okay. There's Jaws. Is there a dead animal? A tiger shark is killed for bounty. In the end, the monster shark explodes, killed by oxygen tank. And that's the top of it. It says 12 yeses. That's exactly what happened. 0 no's. Then it says, does the dog die? Which is the name of the website.
Right.
Yeah.
And it says, it's 60 yeses, 9 no's. And someone said, I'm glad the dog part was taken out. I love Jaws and I don't find it unnecessary to kill any animal in any movie and put it, yada, yada. I'm sorry because they're disturbed, yada, yada. So basically, people are like, no, but they're downvoting the comment.
Oh,
but the dog does die.com.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways.
Oh, man.
Just like in true fashion, like the ending fitting on a gray area for Ethan's scale, I think the dog dying is also on a gray scale because I think the original dog, yes, the copy version,
Exactly. It's a
that is
moral
then
quandary.
morphed into a human face, it is
I
not dead.
wouldn't call that a dog. That's
But
a
should it
fucking
live?
chimera.
I don't think so. I guess the better question is, should the alien hybrid dog live?
No.
And I would
.com.
vote no. .com. I would vote no.
From now on, every movie, I'll make a new website. Should the alien hybrid dog live.com?
Large no.
No.
Oh, man. It's like we're on the same boat, though. It's like, does the dog die? In a way, yeah. So does every human that gets converted, but is the dog alive?
Right.
Well,
See,
now it's a morph.
the-
Now
the other-
wait, here's the way. Oh, my God, guys. It's the same question with the fly. At what point is the fly still
yes.
human? At what point is the
Yeah.
dog still dog? It has the face of a human now.
Right.
On that note, we should leave. We're getting too philosophical here.
No. No. We're just scratching the surface. I want to know, does the dog play the banjo? I'm asking the real questions here.
Wait, guys,
That's
with the
another thing
dog,
that freaks
banjo
me
dog,
out with this
banjodog.com.
Yeah.
Another thing that freaks me out with this movie, I don't know if because you can see a couple of them staring at the banjo man like early on. I don't know if they're trying to ascertain, like, is that just a noise he makes or is that an instrument that he's playing?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So what I'm thinking, whenever you hear like the banjo kick in, as soon as the dog starts strolling up with the human face, I'm wondering if that's just like a sound that it's making. Just try to mimic.
I didn't know it did that. It made a banjo sound and walked up?
Yeah, the banjo kicks in as soon as the dog starts strolling up.
Really?
And it's like, I don't know. Like, it freaks me
It's
out
like
because I'm sure that's just like
honestly,
a callback to the banjo man.
guys,
It's
No,
like,
no.
guys, honestly, no banjo playing dog human pet. Why live? I'll be honest, man. My dog can't play banjo. I've got nothing.
like every
left.
time he barks, it's just a strum of the strings.
Yeah, he
Oh,
opens his
man.
mouth and it's like.
Dude.
It's fucking unsettling. It freaks me out. I don't
That's
like it.
priceless.
That is no. I didn't even realize that.
Welcome to
Like
philosophy.
that, that's not even what happens. I mean, that's just the score of that scene in particular. But it's just freaky to think about. Like, is that a sound that it's making?
Bro, what if aliens could open their mouth and make sweet ass tunes, man? They open their mouth and like
They could,
dubstep
for all we
comes
know.
out. They open their mouth and guess what? It's just straight up, just like flaming hot bars. This is the dog barking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just opens his mouth and
Ugh.
God.
Banjos.
man.
Banjos, much like bagpipes, undersold, man. They're so
Speaking
good.
of bagpipes, there's a moment where they're loading up the boat and there's just bagpipes.
There's a
being played.
sick-ass bagpipe riff.
What was that
man.
about?
Theme of hope.
Because
In
bagpipes
this
are
movie in
badass.
particular.
That's it. That's it. That's the only reason. Kilts
Yeah.
and bagpipes. You just can't beat them.
Can we talk about
For the homeland.
distorted version of Amazing Grace that plays at the final scene too? That shit was freaky.
I'm
Wait,
trying
what?
to remember. I did hear
There's
it,
some
but, like,
there's some subtlety I didn't notice in this movie.
yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you see Matthew,
It is-
quote unquote Matthew, walking up
Yeah.
to the what
City
is it?
Hall.
Yeah, City Hall. You can hear a distorted version of Amazing Grace playing in the background.
Really,
It's
dude?
fucking freaky.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
It is a little hard to notice.
Okay.
like it's the only other sound in that scene besides like the chirping of what are supposedly
Yeah.
birds. I don't know if they snatch bird bodies.
No, they're
too.
They're the snatched.
Yeah.
Snurds.
They're the snatched.
They're snurds.
right. But yeah, not a fan. Freaks me out.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I thought this was an interesting movie. May not be my favorite in the whole world, but I definitely thought it was really nice. I thought that it progressed really good.
As far as horror movies go, I don't put it on par with The Fly. But if you're trying to watch a spooky movie that's not too scary, it's good.
it's
good
definitely definitely minor body horror.
Yeah.
Not I wouldn't even call it that, but it definitely is like if you're tiptoeing into like you want to see some shit, you want to see a head pop, you want to
Yeah.
see some skin fall off.
You want to see some creepy, like goopy stuff.
Yeah.
someone
You want to
famous.
see a whole
someone evaporate.
you want to see a whole man like come out of an anus.
But also be warned. Want to see some titty? That's in here too. Not for very long, but it's in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Be warned for all you youngins out there who are probably.
That is
you
one
know.
thing we need to make a scale. Does the dog die.com and is there titties?
Don't worry, I've already made that scale, and I think every movie there's titties on. I've said, by the way, why does every 70s to 80s horror movie have titty in it? That's because they didn't care about it.
Because it's a selling factor.
You know, honestly, what I thought about it in this movie, I think the reason why every horror movie at this time has titty in it is because then they have to rate it R, even if there's not enough blood in it, and then
Right.
at the time a bunch
or
of children
foul language.
Or yeah, I mean that too. And a bunch of childrens can't get in because they didn't want a bunch of
Yeah.
teenagers to do it. That's why in the 70s movies and 80s movies and like
Right.
90s movies, they're all like all the teenagers are like trying to get into these movies because they're not allowed to. And
Yeah.
the only reason is because there's titty in it.
Right.
I think I put that together in my head. And that's why.
But you know what? Maybe that's also mentally
I'm-
conditioning ourselves to get horny and scared at the same time.
Exactly. I think it's called fear horny or forny.
Horny.
But all
Yikes.
I'm going to say, though, is that might just be me being young and not being around in the 70s and 80s, and I'm showing that. So
I mean, who knows? You're probably right.
I'm just saying,
Anyways,
that's why I think there's titty on these horror movies.
I thought this was a great movie. But,
Yeah, man, this one's up there for me.
Mhm.
right.
Like it
I think it's
really
pretty good.
freaked me out.
I want to rewatch The Thing, though.
Yeah, I definitely is a good one.
Plays on that whole us
By the
against
way,
them thing
Yeah.
at
the,
first, but then it just turns into me against
Everyone,
them.
an entire city
Yeah.
/ state.
For The Thing, doesthedogdie.com. Absolutely.
Oh,
horrific.
absolutely.
There are no survivors.
Can we have a
policies.
separate? We're gonna have a separate link, a hyperlink. It says doesthedogdie.com. Carpenter's The Thing. If you click the link, it just takes you to thedogisobliterated.com.
No. Is it the dog morphs into the most grotesque thing you've ever
But
seen?
it's also torn in half in the process,
Of
so
course.
it's like it's obliterated. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know.
Mhm.
Doesthedogobliterate.com. Freaking yes, bro.
Oh jeez. But is there titties though in the thing?
And the Carpenter's The Thing. I don't remember actually. I don't think so.
None.
It doesn't seem like it.
There are
Interesting.
no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
There's no titty in it.
it's a sausage fest.
Jesus.
That's what it is.
And
Yeah,
cut,
and
cut,
cut,
and
yeah.
cut. We're done.
One thing I will say, but before we end this, I will say this because I didn't know is that
It's on the sausage fest.
the original Halloween movie that everyone talks about is like a really popular one.
Mhm.
I had no idea that John Carpenter also directed that one as well,
Yeah.
which is why it's probably so
I-
good.
Mhm.
But don't even say that because I don't even know anything about the Halloween movie.
Oh, but you will.
I mean,
Literally
same.
nothing. I couldn't even tell you one, even like a meme, even
Yeah.
like, and I couldn't tell you what the first. I don't even. What
Yeah.
What day is Halloween falling this month?
Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
good.
Sunday.
If at all possible, I wouldn't mind recording an episode the day of.
That's
for
Yeah.
That's
Halloween.
this Sunday.
This Sunday.
And I've got the birthday parties, but I think I'm free that day.
Okay. We'll see.
I do have
Anyways.
birthday parties around Halloween, by the way. It's interesting.
Weird.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Yeah, mine's around Christmas, but
Okay.
Got a bunch of spooky babies.
yeah, I'm just spooky children.
Until
It checks out for the
next
people who-
time, dun, 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 we will be joining you, and then this crew will probably join you in the next like 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll be back. They can't
Remember.
You can't get rid of me.
I ain't left the state yet.
Yeah.
Don't fall asleep.
And don't ever fall asleep.
Don't show
And if you do
emotion.
fall asleep, it's fine. You'll be fine. You'll just be a new human. You
Burn
won't
any
even-
weird
You just won't
apparently,
feel anything.
apparently, Titty Girl says it's not even painful.
Yeah. Anyway. Until next time, we will be back with another episode. But if you're looking for us, you can find us. You just type in the Aftermath on all the big podcatching platforms, or you can look up our Linktree /Ian Wolf, and it should have all the links to just be able to go click out and get all the stuff you're looking for. But until next time,
remember, if you live in a glass house, you cannot make omelets.
Stay awake.
bye-bye.